So, you know how in different states, cultures, cities, towns have different beliefs, religions, do's, don'ts, rights and wrongs.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, all that stuff is protected by cultural relativism. So, say for instance, hmm, you're in a town that if a if a girl likes a boy, then the girl will go up to that boy and slap him plain across his face like this.
Okay. Okay.
That's her way of saying he likes her, and it's allowed it's allowed in that town.
Okay.
So, but we live in a town. Say we live in a town that if you slap someone across their face, then that's just a plain bad thing to do. You
Right.
cannot do that. You
It's
can
considered disrespectful. Right.
yes, you can go to jail or something. Could you go to jail for slapping someone in the face? Depends on you.
Yeah, assault charges and all of that, but yeah, yeah.
But it would be considered wrong if you do it in our town. But in the town it's allowed to, that's that is protected by cultural relativism. See, cultural relativism is like, kind of like a permit that gives you the right to do a rule in town, even if it would be considered wrong in somewhere else.
Okay.
Makes sense? I'll give you another example. You know how in some parts of India where parents force their kids to marry quickly or
Yeah, like arranged marriages.
and have kids early.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep.
See, normally in our town, you do not have to do that type of stuff, even if your
Okay.
parents let you.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. That
But
makes
in
sense.
India,
Yeah, that
it's
may not
completely
apply.
normal.
Right. Yeah. Dang. Okay. I'm gonna remember that. I did not know that.
Yeah, are you starting to catch on?
Yes, definitely. So I'm guessing what I'm getting out of cultural relativism is that it is essentially so when in one place in the world, one culture or town, city, whatever, things may be permissible, that's not acceptable in another culture, town, city, whatever.
Exactly. Now, as for my viewpoint on cultural relativism, shoot, it's a really hard question if you ask me. Because rules are rules. You know, if something is allowed and permitted, then it's allowed and permitted. But things can change. For example, slavery was once cultural relativism. It was wrong. It was hurtful to lots of other people, but it was allowed. And shoot, that got solved quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not quickly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can see that because I can imagine everywhere in the world at the time was doing kind of slavery. I can't imagine everywhere in the world was doing that. But when I guess transatlantic slave trade and all of that came into play, it was deemed acceptable to, I guess, the white society when they were coming across America, Africa, and everywhere else, trying to collect slaves to build a country build the country that we have now. Actually,
Yep.
yeah.
And that got changed.
1865 with Abraham Lincoln.
He fought against cultural relativism. Some people often do that.
He
Is
did.
it permitted? Sometimes you could get arrested. I'll give you another example. Dr. King in the Civil Rights March. He tried to change cultural relativism. It was okay for white people to throw trash and call names to a black person without getting in trouble.
Now that ain't fine yet, but
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Everywhere that wasn't permissible. I definitely see what you're saying.
So I don't see all cultural relativism changing, but I do see some. But then, because within our modern day society, you never know.
You did bring up a good point.